Very fine. Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So we have another batch. There's no qualification. For example, we missed many crashes.
So how do you react to judgment that was delivered?
Well, it's a well-delivered judgment, and in my years of practice, this is a well-considered judgment, a judgment that has merit, a judgment that you cannot unturn such judgment. Because my candidate was excluded, they were all excluded from participating. And we approached the court to interpret if actually we have the right of a petition. You know, Shell, that is a good thing for democracy. And people that are agitating that multiple party should not stand, I think they should have a rethink. Because some of them that are representing the second and third respondent benefited from the multiple party, in quote. And I'm very happy. I give glory to God. I can assure you that, in fact, God has done it again for us.
So what is the way forward?
The way forward is for us to go back to Bayelsa and conduct election. And our candidates are intact. There is nothing wrong. It is a clear exclusion, lawful exclusion. There is no two way to interpret it. We have documentary evidence. We warn them that please rescind your decision. And they went ahead and disqualified us and excluded us from the ballot paper. We have campaigned. We have done everything required in compliance with the Electoral Act. But illegality is not pleaded in law. That is what it is. So that is the position. We are going back to Bayelsa to conduct election. The mandate and the will of Bayelsa must prevail. It must have to prevail. They have to. We have to conduct that election. Chief Charles Oboli.
Are you the party chairman?
I'm the national chairman of the party, the NDP. King George and David King George and David Peter.
Very well, very well. It has shown that all the efforts to paste crime on my client the deputy governor, the third respondent, have been shown to be effort to pest crime. You know, when the election issue of a manipulation election didn't work for them, the next thing was to pest crime on the deputy governor. But the court has shown, have now given a judgment to show that that effort is a nullity. It's of no use. In one petition, you will say the man tendered a document that has a NYC INEC stamp. In another one, you say it has something distinct, as if that document. So, the effort to pest crime on the deputy governor have been proved to be nothing but mere accusation, just for purposes of filling the gap. We are grateful to the court that issue has been resolved in favor of him.
What about the first judgment that set aside the election of
we are going to look at it. We are going to see how it goes.
And what are the reasoning of the tribunal in arriving at that decision?
Actually, I was not in that matter, so I will not be able to speak much about that. Thank you.
Judgments on Friday, all of them reaffirming the electoral victory of Governor Diri. Today we had two judgments. The first one was the one with respect to unlawful exclusion. Incidentally, it was a split decision. The other two members did not go with the chairman. In their own wisdom, they said they found that it was necessary for them to nullify the election. But speaking on that, it's important to know that that judgment is not the type of judgment that removes a governor from office, because as it is, the governor remains in office until all the appeals to the Court of Appeal and to the Supreme Court are all exhausted. And INEC, that was ordered within 90 days, 3 months, to file an appeal, its own time will also kick in after the Court of Appeal decision and after the Supreme Court decision, in the event that they still insist there will be need for fresh polls. You will remember the recent experience of what happened in Osun State. And it's also interesting that after the judgment by these two judges who asked that the judgment be annulled earlier this morning, this afternoon too, they have also granted another judgment in our favor, which has affirmed the victory of Governor Diri. In other words, we have 4.5 judgments in our favor out of the 5. So the governor is still strongly on seat. So we don't have anything to worry.
So what are the reasons advanced by the chairman in his own judgment?
In that judgment, in fact, we are definitely going to appeal with respect to that aspect of that judgment. We are going to appeal because if you listened to the judgment of the chairman, which ordinarily ought to have been the lead judgment, you will see that, before you can talk about unlawful exclusion, there must have been valid nomination. This was a case of a political party that brought a candidate that was underage. That candidate, INEC pointed that out, and the candidate accepted, the party accepted and brought another candidate that was also underage, which was a deliberate attempt in order to create this situation of unlawful exclusion to come to court and begin to file petitions. And which is what we are saying the court should discourage. Now, how can you, for a political party that has no chance of winning up to 1% of the votes in a constituency, and then now going to cause a country to waste public funds in ordering and organizing fresh elections? It's very unreasonable. And now, when you look at the time frame, if you are asking that you were unlawfully excluded from what? Excluded from an election that took place on 16 November 2019. And in March 2020, 5 months after, you are coming to ask for exclusion because what the Supreme Court did in February was a declaration. There was no election in February. So where were you excluded from? So this is a matter that I'm sure it will not take the appellate courts they won't have any difficulty in reviewing what has been done. It's part of the development of the legal process, and we will definitely, we've been instructed to appeal against it, and we'll do. We'll do. We assure you we'll do.
Do you intend to do that?
Watch out.
We're already in the process. We are collecting the judgment, and very soon you will see it. Thank you very much, gentlemen.